Hi, everyone. My name is Anita Ladhani. I'm a licensed clinical social worker and an energy practitioner. Let's talk about domestic violence. What constitutes domestic violence? A lot of people think that domestic violence is the actual physical act of getting hit or beaten or abused by your partner. When I say partner, it could be not just a man abusing a woman, but it's surprisingly just as common for a woman to physically hit her spouse or her boyfriend or her partner. But that's not the only definition. That's not the only thing that constitutes domestic violence. Emotional abuse, mental abuse, psychological abuse, all of that is domestic violence. Domestic violence is when you are in a relationship where you're being abused mentally, physically, emotionally. What does that look like? Now, physical, we know, right? Your partner is hitting you, pushing you, slapping you, punching you, what have you. But the other stuff is a little bit harder because what tends to happen is that a lot of times we get really confused. We think that we deserved it. We think that, maybe it was our fault. We think that, if only I behaved a different way, I could have not upset my partner. And the reason why we think that is because usually the partner who's doing the abusing is very, very skilled at manipulating you. So they will say things like, see how mad you make me? See, if you didn't make me so mad, I wouldn't do this. I wouldn't drink if you just, were nicer to me. If you didn't complain and, do all that all the time. The point is they're going to blame you for their behavior instead of taking responsibility for being an adult and being in control of choosing to behave a certain way. It's just easy and it's psychological manipulation to blame you. And then when it's been done, and it starts very, very sort of casually a lot of times. It doesn't always start, from 0 to 100. That you don't even realize it's happening. You don't even realize. And when you're invested in a relationship, of course you don't want to walk away from it. Of course you don't want to say, I'm done, because you've invested time, you've invested emotion. Sometimes you've invested money in it. Sometimes you have kids together. Sometimes, maybe you don't have anything together. Maybe you're not financially independent. Maybe you're dependent on your partner. Maybe that's why you go, well, where am I going to go? How am I going to support myself? How am I going to survive? Those are very real concerns when you're in an abusive relationship. We're not going to discuss that just yet, okay? But I do want to talk to you about that, let's just start to recognize that you're in an abusive relationship, because you can't change anything that you don't even realize is wrong. Once you realize it's wrong, then you can do something about it. What can you do? So the first thought is, okay, let's say you now get it, right? You've seen this amazing video and your eyes are opened up and you get it, right? Possibly you've had hints all along, and maybe this video is the last little confirmation that you needed to be like, oh yeah, I thought I was being abused, and definitely I'm being abused now, because this is just confirmation, right? There's a reason you're watching this right now. There's a reason you're on my feed, or I'm in your feed watching this, right? So that's the first step, confirmation. What comes after that? Get yourself with a good therapist. Get yourself with a good therapist, okay? Confidentiality is key. If you are really in a dangerous situation, Google local domestic violence shelters. You can look up domestic violence national hotlines. You can call national hotlines. They're confidential. They're local networks throughout the country. And I know in the West and even in some of the Eastern, you have networks of domestic violence, help. It's completely hush-hush, and they're there specifically designed to help you. Reach out. You have to take the first step, unfortunately, because no one even knows you're going through this. And even if you're going through this, no one is going to come and impose their, no, if you want the help, there is help out there. So reach out and get the help and start planning an exit strategy, guys. If you want to stay in the relationship and there's hope and that, your partner will change and resolve and whatnot, great, stay in it. But if you know, or maybe you've tried, or maybe you just know this is not happening, or you've just had enough and you want to leave, then come up with an exit strategy. Plan. It may take you a few months. It may take you a year. It may take you even longer. Plan and start your exit strategy. Now, if you have little children in the picture, it changes the timeline because your responsibility as a parent is to keep them safe. Okay? So that's when you really have to reach out for help ASAP and start moving them away, getting that situation out. Unfortunately, you may have to leave your house. You may have to move into a shelter. It is hard, but guess what? It is doable. I know plenty of women who I never thought would be able to survive that. They've managed and they overcame that and now they're good. It wasn't easy, but it's doable. So the point is, recognize it and then reach out for help. As always, I'm available. Reach out to me, message me. This too shall pass, and I'm hoping that this helps and reaches the people that it needs to reach. Love and light. Take care. God bless.